So we all know that Zune is very good at names for the most part. He's clever at taking from folklore in terms of Acacia lapis lazuli, who's based off the Greek goddess of magic, Hecate. Hecate was known to have 3 heads, which is why Acacia has 3 bodies. But sometimes, Zune seems to be a little lazy in the naming department, and I'll tell you why. Now, Marissa, that's fine. Reimu, fine. Cherno, absolutely fantastic. They're all great names. But then, from the same games as some of them, we have other names. Like in one case, we have Daiose. Now, in Japanese, that sounds fine. Perfect, even. But if you translate it, it means big fairy. And it's like, or great fairy, depending on the translation. So it's basically, Zune looked at the name and decided, yes, that sprite is bigger than usual, you will be great fairy. And then you're like, but Zune, that doesn't really say anything. And he's like, I'm sorry, people person, but I must now go get my booze because I am very thirsty. So he just wanders off, and then that's it for that. But, and this is why we can tell embodiment of Scarlet Devil is perhaps one of the lazier games in terms of world building and lore. We also have Koakuma, who I do believe that Zune said means little devil, which again, it means, yes, you look like a little devil. What does the name mean? I don't know. Now, I realize that in terms of the other games, Zune's naming schemes have improved considerably. We don't have another character that is like Big Horse or Diagonal Duck, but what I'm saying is that it's quite funny that the most popular series, the Gateway series for the Windows era, is also the one where Zune is at his laziest. Now, that isn't all, because if you remember, there's a character named Rinsatsuki, who did not show up in the game at all. Preferably because Zune was like, oh no, that's too many characters, I don't want that many. No, instead we're going to stick with, what was it, 2? Yes, 2 sounds right, and I'm not going to name either of the characters either. I mean, I'll name them, but I won't name them. But that's not the end. He does have other moments of, let us say, less than enthused actions, which is in the case of Touhou 10, Mountain of Faith. Now, one of the most characters that gets fan art, despite not having fan art, unless you count official data books, which now exist, is Momiji Inobashiri. The thing with Momiji is, when she was a mid-boss, she had a sprite. It was a little tiny sprite. Little tiny. Didn't even have a portrait. There was nothing known about her, and yet Zune gave her a better name than Daiose and Koakuma, who arguably are more developed in certain aspects, which is honestly kind of sad. Now, another thing is that Zune cuts corners. Now, Zune is not a bad game developer, he's not a bad world builder. I mean, sure, he gets a little ambitious at times, what with all the characters, he's making One Piece look lazy. But there are times where you just have to go, wait a minute, mate. You need to back up and take a breather, because I don't think you know what you're doing with this. And case in point is the way that some incidents are resolved. Now, I know that with the spell cards rules, it's not fatal, it's not fatality. You don't have, I've shot you now, you are dead and you'll never exist again. No. You beat the character and they go, oh, well, I'm so sorry, I guess I will indeed go and do whatever else I was doing. You know what, let us have tea and a party. Anyone want some alcohol? It's like, mate, 2 hours ago you tried to kill us all, you tried to drown the world in eternal darkness, and now all of a sudden we're okay with you? And that is the one flaw with the spell card system. And I know it's meant to be, oh, look at the pretty bullets, and that is how we defeat our foes. We distract them with abstract art and pretty colors. But that's the issue. Now, you might wonder, hey, hold on. So you're telling me a character as evil as Seiga Kaku, which is kind of funny because if you wanted her evil, you would name her Ninkaku. But hey, whatever. Now, she is a hermit who is selfish. She raised a dead zombie girl who we are fairly sure she murdered just to raise her as a zombie, Jiangxi, whatever. And at the end of the game, she's like, ho, I'm still very much evil. And Reimu is like, and it's like, okay, I get the spell card rules, but maybe, just maybe, just maybe, a little harsher punishment. Does Gensokyo not have jail cells? Throw her in the brig. Be done with her. You don't want to kill her, throw her in the brig. It's like, and Seija Kijin, another character, favorite character, love her, but she's a dick. And I know that's because of her nature as an Amano-jaku, but still, she had a whole spin-off game after her game where she was more of a menace. Throw some handcuffs on her, throw her in jail. What I'm saying is, Zune, you can't keep introducing characters who would destroy the world, or at least attempt to destroy the world, and say, oh yes, no, everything is all hunky-dory after this. Yes, we've defeated you with the power of Naruto. No! That doesn't... No, some of them were bad as Madara. Do you think Madara would be like, ah, yes, I'm sorry, you've shot me with some pretty bullets, Reimu, I'm just going to sit down and have a pint? It's like, no. Because the further you look into Zunes, beneath the waifuism and the great lore and the funness of Gensokyo, you start to realize at a surface level, his writing, oh, it's bad. And I know I touched upon this in a previous video, but that was mostly just me talking about how he abandons characters. This is the writing in general, which is bad. Yeah, there are some nuanced plots, I will admit, like Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom. Very nuanced, very, very revenge-driven, but at the same time, it's pretty shallow. We've all seen this plot before. It's been done before, and I'm just saying, Zune, I know you like to world build. I know you like to make new characters, but maybe, just maybe, hire a new writer, a sub-writer, someone to make it so that your stories flow better, and not name people after their species.